Thank you, Raj, for those very kind words. Himani, Unnat Pandit, Raghavendra, all the senior officers of DPIIT. Let me first compliment DPIIT for this unique initiative of partnering India Today to host this conference. And for this very early morning, this hall seems to be rather well packed on a very specialized subject. I'm particularly fascinated by this subject because, when I was a young officer, it was my first posting in the Ministry of Commerce. I was looking after tea, coffee, and rubber. Now, one of the challenges we faced was that Darjeeling tea, we produce about 11 million kg, but almost 50 million kgs in the world are sold as Darjeeling tea. So, the most high value, most upmarket, one of the unique brands of India is actually consumers worldwide are cheated by tea from Kenya, Sri Lanka, many other places, and they say that it's Darjeeling tea. So the challenge was huge, and then we worked around a Darjeeling logo. The London Tea Board office had worked around. Darjeeling logo. That was more like a branding campaign, etc. But once I came as Secretary DPIIT, one of the things we did was to really push the GIs. And so therefore I feel that today's conference is very critical because geographical indicators, as we all know, are more than mere intellectual property markers. They are a testament to the ingenuity and traditions of communities across generations in India. And they represent the unique characteristic of a region, its climate, its topography, and traditional know-how. And that expertise has come over generations. And they all come together to create products that are totally unparalleled for their quality and distinctiveness. And that cannot be replicated in any other part of the world. If you look at from Darjeeling tea to Pashmina shawls to Basmati rice to Kanchipuram silk, actually many of them, and I can go on and on, GIs, geographical indicators are actually a celebration of India's diversity and a bridge between the past and the future. Now, India is actually one of the most culturally and geographically diverse nations in the world, and we have a very vast repository of products that can be registered as GIs. Now, with over 650 GIs already registered and many more in the pipeline, India ranks today as the leading country in terms of GI registrations. Our merchandise exports today are about 603 billion, but we need to give it even a greater push. And therefore, my view is that we have the potential to do a lot more. We must showcase our GIs globally and commercialize them, because just merely giving GIs is not adequate. You need to get market value. You need to commercialize. And commercialize them to meet international standards, and this will significantly benefit our rural communities. Their incomes will go up. Now, there have been several policy initiatives supporting GIs, and India's commitment to protecting and promoting GIs is actually enshrined in its legal framework through the Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act of 1999. Now, this act ensures that the unique attributes of GI products are safeguarded from misuse, and that only authorized users can benefit from the GI label. And in recent years, the government has taken several initiatives to enhance the visibility and market potential of GI products. During G20, the only gifts that were given out were of one district, one product. And the one district, one product initiative has been instrumental in identifying and promoting GI tagged products from specific regions. And therefore, I was particularly delighted when in Kashmir I saw that on the Pashmina shawls, all of them had a QR code tag. QR code tag, you could track out who was the actual producer. You could track back to the actual artisan, whether it is genuine or not. And that's a unique work which has been done in Kashmir, because duplication, triplication, all that was happening. Bogus items were being sent out in the name of Pashmina shawls all over the world. What Kashmir Handicraft and Handloom Department has done is a remarkable work in terms of putting QR code on them so that you can track back the genuineness to the actual producer who has done it. And therefore, my view is that we need to do this to all GI products. And this is unique. So the one district, one product highlights the uniqueness of the regional product, but also integrates them into the broader framework of economic development by linking them to export markets and to e-commerce platforms, which is very critical because the world is moved towards e-commerce. Everybody is buying using digital technology. And we should enable all our GI products to be sold digitally. That's critical. And another significant initiative is the GI Fair series, which provides artisans and producers with a platform to showcase their GI tagged products. Now, these fairs have been crucial in connecting rural producers with urban and international markets. And I'm particularly delighted that they have fostered greater appreciation and demand for traditional crafts and agricultural goods. Now, the government has taken the efforts to digitize the GI registration process, and they have created a centralized database for all GI products, which has streamlined, this has led to streamlining of procedures and improved transparency, and this is critical to my mind. Now, there are huge economic and social impact of GIs, which is we must recognize. The GIs have the potential to transform local economies. They by securing intellectual property rights over traditional products, GIs empower local communities, particularly artisans, farmers, and craft people. Look at the GI tag for Darjeeling tea. It has not only enhanced its global reputation, but has ensured that the growers actually receive premium prices and the unit value realization for the local producers has gone up. And similarly, the registration of Pochampalli Ikat has revitalized the handloom weaving communities, and it has created sustainable livelihoods, and it has also led to the preserving of age-old craft. So this has had a huge impact on communities. GIs have also played a very crucial role in promoting women empowerment. Many GI-linked crafts and agricultural activities are actually dominated by women. From the hand-embroidered, if you look at the hand-embroidered chicken work of Lucknow, totally driven by women, to the terracotta pottery of Gorakhpur, women artisans are at the forefront of preserving these traditions. And I think if we are talking about women-led development, GIs play a very critical role. And by boosting demand for these products, GIs actually contribute to gender-inclusive economic development. Now, I would also like to state that there are challenges to the GI ecosystem. And despite successes, the GI ecosystem in India faces several challenges. First and foremost is the issue of awareness, to my mind. Many producers, especially in rural areas, remain unaware of the benefits of registering their products in GI, and therefore a huge awareness campaign for, I was interacting with the toy producers of Varanasi. They make toys out of wood, and it's some of the most remarkable toy products. Quite a few of them were not aware, so I think awareness, we need to push this in a very big way. And because awareness, also this lack of awareness also extends to consumers who often do not recognize the value and authenticity associated with GI tagged products. And bridging this awareness gap is crucial to unlocking the full potential of GIs. Secondly, while the legal framework for GI protection is robust, enforcement still remains a challenge. And therefore, counterfeiting and misuse of GI labels are rampant, both within and outside India. I gave you the example of non-authentic versions of basmati rice, and pashmina shawls are sold in international markets. I gave you the example of Darjeeling tea, and they undermine the credibility of these products and they deprive genuine producers of their actual share of getting a higher value. And therefore, strengthening enforcement mechanisms, not merely domestically but worldwide, and engaging in international collaborations to protect Indian GIs globally is very, very essential. Thirdly, to my mind, universities and government entities, rather than local producers or artisans, are filing most registrations. Now, the objective should be that local artisans should file for it. Now, universities, government entities are filing for registration. Now, this trend, to my mind, diverges from the intended purpose of the GI Act, which aims to empower local communities by protecting traditional products. And therefore, we need to facilitate local artisans to register their product. And another major challenge is the lack of adequate marketing and branding. So, to my mind, many GI tag products struggle to compete in global markets due to limited branding strategies and access to international trade network. And it's very critical that we put out adequate amounts of money to handhold them for branding and marketing purposes. Now, initiatives like One District, One Product program have made significant inroads. A more comprehensive approach is needed to position Indian GIs as very premium products on the global stage. And, one point I want to make is that the sustainability of GI-linked production process is an area that also requires attention, so that we bring in sustainable practices, highlight the sustainable nature of GI products so that they can get an even more higher value. Many traditional crafts and agricultural practices, if we are able to highlight the sustainable nature of how they are produced, they will get greater value. Now, to my mind, these challenges can be overcome, and we can harness the full potential of GIs through a multi-pronged strategy. And a multi-pronged strategy is critical. Firstly, awareness campaigns targeting producers, consumers, and policymakers must be very intensified. And we need to leverage digital platforms. We need to leverage social media. And I would like much more of this effort on the digital media, because the younger generation has access to digital media. And that can play a very significant role in educating stakeholders about the value of our GI products. You can take it across the world at very low price points if you are able to access all the digital media. Secondly, enhancing the enforcement of GI rights is imperative. This includes strengthening domestic legal mechanisms and actively engaging in international forums to protect Indian GI abroad. Bilateral and multilateral trade agreements must be leveraged to include provisions for GI protection, ensuring that Indian products are safeguarded in foreign markets. And I would also say that a very robust marketing and branding strategy is needed to position Indian GIs as very premium, high value, upmarket, authentic and sustainable products. So if you are able to do this, our producers will immensely gain. And fourthly, sustainability, as I said, must be at the core of all GI-related initiatives. Promoting eco-friendly practices, providing financial incentives for sustainable production, and investing in research and development, and better displays, better packaging. You know, I mean, you look at Japanese products, they're so well packaged. They're so, you know, I mean, the product inside is not great, but the packaging is so brilliant that it adds value. So I think packaging plays a critical role. So that is important. And therefore, that can help us get greater value. And lastly, capacity building is essential. Training program for producers, artisans, farmers can equip them with the skills needed to adapt in changing market dynamics. You know, here in this hall, there are many very passionate GI researchers. There are those who've been brand ambassadors. I see Ganesh. He started as a panwala and has become, done so much of work. He's become the biggest expert and promoter of GIs. So, people like him have been doing a lot of work outside the government forum. And therefore, I'm truly delighted that so many experts have been called by the Department of Industrial Policy here. And therefore, given the diverse nature of our GI products, I'm advocating for a very coordinated, multi-agency approach with a comprehensive policy that unifies different ministries and departments. And the focus should be on authentication, strengthening enforcement measures, and enhancing commercialization of Indian GIs. Now, I would say that geographical indications are not just about protecting intellectual property. They are about protecting identities, livelihoods, legacies. They are about ensuring that the farmer cultivating basmati rice, the weaver crafting Banarsi silk, and the potter shaping Khurja ceramics, they receive their recognition and reward. And as we move forward, we need to ensure that every GI product becomes a symbol of India's ingenuity and resilience, a testament to our commitment to preserving our heritage. And that alone, if we preserve our heritage, that will become the biggest brand value for our future as well. So the past must converge with the future and really transform the lives of all our GI producers in India. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.